This is going to be one of the last segments of Tara for the bumper and the other door and different things, but this is how far people go. If you want an older, decent truck, uh, we're working on some different things here, different issues. Electrically, she's fine. She needs an exhaust jet and a rear bumper, and then she has to get cleaned out totally. Uh, this truck they were planning on scrapping it. They traded it to a second-hand dealer, and that's where I came in, where I got a hold of it. And I still have some things here to do with it. So it's just not your average. Well, it is. It's what's on the car lot for $1,000, $500, and a lot of times people. I didn't peel all the tape off of that yet and clean it up. You know, you have hard times, and maybe you have meatballs in the freezer or refrigerator, and you don't have sauce and spaghetti, so you have meatballs and maybe you have some gravy. Basically, that's it. Anybody that wants to be a critic for a bed that was that bad, it needed a new fucking bed. I don't care who you are. And I wanted to comment and throw one at YouTube again. I don't know why the freak our volume is so low. There's other people making videos and stuff, and they transfer me the video so I can actually hear it. YouTube is slacking off again. But that's not bad for a meatball job. You know, you're going to see things. There's a crease right there. I don't know if that's coming through. There's a couple things. The single stage is pretty forgiving. I remember watching a video one time. It was a girl. I painted a tractor trailer. They were looking for everybody to work for nothing back in the day, and they were coming out with those two-stage paints. Where, yeah, a 3-year-old could work them and put them on, but they don't last. That's why I use the single-stage stuff. And then if you have a problem with it or you have a repair issue, you can always put the clear coat right over it. And it's tougher than most. You're not going to hack through that shit with a sanding disc. That's why I use it. It's like the original, the OEM coatings. They're real hardy, they're real heavy, and I laid that shit on like I don't know, like it was going out of style, I guess. But it's not that you can't tell that there isn't body work in that. It's just that it looked like a drunk was driving it, and I don't want cops targeting me because my truck's all fucking dented up. And that'll fool them a little bit. It's a little bit of camouflage, and you know, from 10 feet away, you can't tell much. Even from this distance, this isn't an HD camera, but it's not bad. You can still see things here. I mean, this thing was really creased up and bumped up. It really needed a new bed, which is that's actually what I'm going to do. Is I actually have a new bed now. I had 3 phone calls about it because people saw me doing beds, and it wasn't just on YouTube. It was actually a couple friends of mine, and the guy says, "Oh, I got a smashed up Silverado. It's sitting in my backyard. Nobody wants to give me nothing for it." Well, those parts are worth a couple of bucks. And versus this, where they blew the goddamn hole through the bed, it doesn't look that bad for what it is. So before I clean my gun, I got a couple of touch-up spots before it rains real heavy. But that's what we ended up with. We had meatballs, and we didn't have spaghetti and sauce. So basically, that'll go back together, but it looks a hell of a lot better than that rusty, crusty. It looked like it was diseased, you know, with all the freaking dirt all over it and shit. And it took me a hell of a time to clean it down and clean all those two-sided tapes and shit off of it. So it'll last, and we'll dress it up, and we'll put the bed liner back in it. But, you know, for fixing the frame and every other freaking thing you had to fix on this thing, and, you know, we still have work to do there. We still have things to clip in, and we need the clips for the brake lines and stuff. I've been meaning to go down to AutoZone. I told you, the Chinese have taken over the automotive market. You know, years ago, at least when you got a fucking brake line, you got the goddamn clip to clip it in with the freaking brake line. You know, now you got to go down and kiss their ass just so the fucking Chinese pricks put a thing in. And I wanted to say that about, you know, I spend most of my time up here. I work for myself, and the reason why I work for myself is, you know, you go to these job ads and they can't find anybody. Oh, we need people. You know what? They need people because they can't find anybody that's going to work for nothing. Okay, I don't eat fucking rice and beans. They can suck my dick, every goddamn one of them. I just went for a job. Oh, all we pay for a welder is $12 to $13 an hour. You know what? Good luck finding a fucking welder. I got up out of the chair, and the guy's, he said, "Oh, we pay $12, $13 an hour." He's ready to shake my hand, welcome on board. I got up and I says, "Good luck. Good luck finding anybody to weld for $12, $13 an hour. I don't know. I don't know who the fuck these people think they are around here. This is just the douchebag area. I have problems here myself with trying to connect the sewer line, and the city solicitor's a fucking jackass. He's dying of cancer, so he doesn't give a fuck what he does. You know, these people they're insane. Half of them. They want the world to work for nothing, but they want you to pay their price. You know what? You know, if I had something welded at a shop, they're gonna bill me at $50 an hour. What? And I'm making $10, $12 an hour? Kiss my fat hillbilly fucking dick. Every goddamn one he is. There's my workmanship. There it is. It stares you in the fucking face. Have another look. That bed wasn't worth 50 cents for a meatball repair. Nobody's going to be able to tell going down the road that it's all fucking repaired. How about that? It ain't the same old, same old. The world has changed. It's not you. You want to earn, you want to go out and earn a living or whatever. But there I painted with a single stage paint. They have to have girls paint with double stage paint like it's watercolors. There I tested the pattern of my gun on those old doors. I opened up a new gun out of the package, and just so it patterned. That's why that's all running like that, if people see that. But this place got to be a shit house, and I want to cover this. We have weather coming in here. I was glad I could get it sprayed. That workbench is going to get sanitized and Cloroxed, and half that shit's going to get thrown out now that she's done. Most of this is grinding dirt and shit, but it's really making everything look like a fucking shit house. And there's been stuff laying there for a year and a half, ever since I built this little outdoor thing. And it serves me wonders. Hope other people take notice of things. I wanted to put a skirt here. I have rubber roofing and stuff. I just haven't had time between this other stuff and one of my trucks getting stolen. One needs an engine, and the other one over there is cancering out so bad. That was a cancer patient right there, and she survived. And that's what I wanted to tell most of you guys. For the backyard stuff, you're only going to polish a turd so high, but for meatball surgery is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, there's plenty of products on the market. Like I used that stuff I got at NCS there, that lightweight body filler or whatever. Hey, that worked the nuts, you know what I mean? Just to go over it and be able to sand it out without going through and pulling your hair out and having a mental fit and a tizzy. But just trying to put this goddamn thing back together. It's rust-free now, and I got coatings inside the doors and stuff like that. It'll live along, that truck will live another 15, 20 years, even if it sits outside, which it probably won't. It's decent. And then I was glad today. I wanted to introduce you to this paint too. That's another. This is not the paint. It's not made for outside. If you want to paint outside, there are like the true Centauris you can paint outside, even if it's 90 degrees. That stuff. That's made for a heat booth. That Trinity. Basically, that's made for about an 80 degree. That's why I painted it today, even though weather was coming in. My peeve I wanted to tell you is I painted that bed because I knew it was going to be overcast. Because if I would have had any sun on that bed and I would have had a spot, even if it was 70, some of the spots on a metal bed get to be 80, 90, 100 degrees real easy. It just depends on where the sun is, and you're not going to coat it. The paint's going to dry instantly. The beauty of what I just did there while it was all overcast is that's why it's all shiny. It dried with the wet look like the reducer. It's because it was overcast. If it was sunny out, it would have had a flash like my roof did up there. My roof was so hot, and it was overcast the day I did it. It's just that the sun was going in and out. So that paint's basically, it's garbage. This paint takes a really experienced mechanic to work that Trinity, and you can get it off of eBay if you want it. But you really you have to actually put extra reducer. It says it's a 4-to-1 mix. It's a 4-to-1 ratio is what they're telling me on this thing. And it's not. It's about 6-to-1. Even on an overcast day, it took me about a 6-to-1 mix to mix that down. Now, it could be the tip in your gun, too. That's your typical $120 kit that you get at the stores. It comes with the the two big guns, the one little gun, and whatever. And it's ages old. It didn't spray up to my expectations at 50 pounds of air pressure. I really should have went down to 40, but then I didn't get the flow. It was the mix. It's this stuff. It's made for a heat booth. So if I would have been spraying probably in a 70, 80 degree, maybe 75 to 85 degrees, and I would have been spraying inside, I probably would have been fine with the gun and the paint. But spraying outside, it takes a little extra talent, just so you know, to make it look right. And remember to keep the vent open in the top of the cap of the gun. That's another tip right there. I had to keep opening that. And I'm going to open it a little bit wider. As far as I'm concerned, it wasn't feeding enough paint, and I think it's the hole in the top of the cap. So you make the hole any bigger, like some of the gravity feed guns come now, they have a pretty big hole in them. I'm choking on the paint. I think that was one of the problems. So take it to heed that you can do it yourself. If you would have looked at the bills I have about $3,000 laid out on putting her back together. And that's no bullshit. But if you wanted to pay a shop to do all this, and it would have turned out half-assed and not to your expectation, and you would have paid 10 grand, you'd fall over, okay? It still doesn't have a stereo. It still doesn't have everything else my other truck has. It's got a long way to go there. I mean, it's 20 grand till you get an older truck in shape, and then you go out and buy another one for 40 grand. You're burying yourself. It really is. It's like shooting yourself in the head. But you have something for your money if you do it for yourself. So if you're one of those guys that works a lot and then you get a month or two off and you got that truck there, it's staring you in the face, it still runs, it runs good. But, okay, that's where the but comes in. Alright, fix the frame, fix the rust, scrape it all down. I did this. I started on this truck March 15th. Okay, it is now April 22nd or 23rd, I think. Maybe the 24th. It's Monday. Okay, I started on it, I think March 13th is actually the date. I actually started ripping things off of it, and then I went to the U-Pullet yards and the other places, and then I called my buddy about the doors, and I still didn't get my other door. It took me a little over a month to get it to this stage, and my inner fender wells, I didn't have time to, with this weather, I just didn't have time to fuck around between yesterday and today. I just didn't have that time to fool around in that time slot. I don't know where time goes. When you're a kid, you can hold your arms open as wide as the world is. That's how time is. When you're our age, you get to put your fingers about a half inch apart, and that's how time is. And that's where we got to with Tara. I still didn't even take the rag off of her trailer hitch. That thing's frozen in there. I've been trying to bang it out of there. I'm going to get my... I have a thing to get it out of there. I have a hydraulic ram that might take that out of there. That's where you get to. Everything's rusted on these trucks. Nothing's free. Nobody coats anything with anti-seize anymore. Anti-seize, by the way, for a little one is like $10-12 just for a little cup of it. I have it here. But imagine that. Trash everywhere. Tarp's got to go back on it. A workbench. Looks like the demilitarized zone, hacking and choking on paint fumes. But you get satisfaction. Who knows what else, but there you go. And I just wanted to let you know that the truck is going to be alive and well, and we'll show it to you back at... I have to go, believe it or not, there's another guy in fucking Jersey. He has a bumper. He wants $50 for it. It's like brand new. Everywhere around here, they want $200 for something about in the shape I have. Tells you how desperate freaking people are and what jerk-offs they are. $200 for... The guy says, well, that bumper's not that bad. Yeah, you're that fucking stupid. Yeah, that bumper's that fucking bad. And you want to sell me that piece of shit? I can get one on eBay for $167, but it's probably Chinese peanut brittle. But anyway, the guy has a factory bumper down in Jersey. I believe it's down near Newark or whatever. I'm actually going to see what it's going to take him to ship it up here. I'm just tired of running for this goddamn truck. So that's where we're at, and I'm going to end my video with that. But yeah, I want $200 for a fucking rusted out bumper. Probably go out and, you know, the U-Pullet yards, that's the hardest thing to get off the cars is the bumpers and the mounts and stuff like that. They don't let you have torches and all that other stuff in there. It's just gross. It's stupid. So have it for per se. I got to clean filth out of here. I want a nice spring. Thanks, guys.